Hello and welcome to Analyst Hangout. I am Perpetual Fasten Peter. Well, I've got three analysts right here with me. Two are here with me in the studio and one will be joining us virtually. By my left, I have Charles Fakoha, iBrandTV Senior Analyst. Thank you for joining us today.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Always. And by my right, I have Ambrose Omodio, the CRO, Invest Data Consulting. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me again.
All right. Okay, so virtually we'll be joined by Mukhtar Mohammed, the CEO Finance with Mukhtar. But we'll begin with a stock market review. And now looking at the activities, the Nigerian stock market saw a 3.23% decline in the all-share index at the end of trading on Thursday, making it the largest single-day decline since March 2022. However, the NGX all-share index reversed a three-day downward trend at the close of trading session today after gaining 0.19% to settle at 47,351.43 points from 47,260.89 points in the previous session. Well, this just gives us an overview of what happened this week. And Mr. Ambrose, let's have your thought.
Actually, what we saw for the week, we're not surprised. An environment where there is a interest rate on the increase, inflation on the increase, investors are about to kind of what we call portfolio shuffling. And that we saw the life of Airtel losing about 10% yesterday. Because before now, I've seen that stock on a stronger offer, a lower bid, but the volume to activate it was not there. But yesterday, that volume came. And don't forget that also, as we're looking at the earnings season that's around the corner, I said here in this program that you need to look at what is the dividend yield we're expecting. If you're not going to play in the money market or fixed income space, if you are doing in equity, you want to look at what am I getting a dividend yield compared to the price of that stock. Is it enough for me to stay? If for Airtel that has much as year end, we're only just expecting results for Q2 in October. Why am I staying in that kind of position? If the dividend is still very meager, very small, and let me move sell off now and put my portfolio to go to either banking stock where I'm seeing opportunity or other real estate stocks. That is what's happening for me. It's not a surprise that we saw that losing such a no volume yesterday. But the good thing is that as market is coming down, I've seen that year to date high is about 54,200 and the year to date low is about 38,852. For me, the market is still very, very strong to me because it has not come back to where it started from the year. And also, don't forget that market has returned about 25% before now, before coming back to around 10 point something. For investor, prices are becoming cheaper for you to know better enter a better stock that has of some value and also potential to work to return some good money. Even though we are not making as 50% again, we are above inflation or not inflation. Money is protected, moving with the trend of the market. It's okay for me. For me, investors should not panic at all. But when the two were calling me, is it the end of the market? I said no. There's always an uptrend. There's always also a downtrend. If life graph is all up, nobody will be talking about. Life graph is up and down. Also, equity market, even the world has the word up and down graph. For that, when you see the market down, you buy low and sell high. And that's the mantra in the market. Buy low, sell high. For me, it's the market just putting up volume on value on our table to take that value. If you leave it to take value now, when it's really going to come in, you'll be complaining. This value already at your doorstep.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, I also need to make it known that we are joined by Mukhtar Mohammed, the CEO Finance with Mukhtar. Hello, good to have you join us.
Good evening.
Yes, good to have you join us. We are glad to have you on the show today.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, the NGX has reported 1.4 trillion naira jump between January and September 2022. Meanwhile, the global stock market has seen 1 year of major sell-offs. Well, I'd like to start with you, Ambrose. I guess you'll start definitely. You just have to start this particular one. Talk to us about it.
No, for me, our market has been in the uptrend before now. For me, it's a good thing that our equity market is not responding to what we saw at the early beginning of this year, that other markets were looking down, our own were looking up. And people were saying that our market was the best in our performing market around that April, March because of what our performance. But surprised that things coming down, people are registering. I'm also surprised because the market have returned about 25%. That means an individual store have given you more than that 25%, that 1,500 in that period. Then market coming down is for you to all have sold off and come and buy low now. For me, the exchange having such a return, it reflects that the market has been on a bullish trend from January to around this time we are seeing correction. Within that period, they're breaking money because I tell you, any day exchange door is open, they are making money. Whether you are trading physical on the floor, you are trading online, they are generating money. That's why I said last time that business is a money spinning business, because I believe that there's a lot of things to make from exchange, because you just open door. Even your cost, people are saying the cost of NSE is not take over the other cost of other business, because your salary you're paying, your machine you are using, you pay off at once, only you are servicing it. I believe that that's what we're seeing, the kind of return or revenue. For me, it's a good one. That shows that NSE should manage this one first before they come to the market to approach for any any additional fund. I'm happy that they at the last year they step it down for now. Let them continue, but use what you have to make more fair before I give you additional fund to expand your business.
All right, that's a good one. Well, Mr. Mukhtar, if you can hear me, I'd like you to give us an outlook for Q4.
So Q4 is going to be a very interesting quarter based on market fundamentals. Like I said, market fundamentals is still very strong, but economy fundamentals is very weak. You cannot separate the market from the economy in the long term. The market might take a life of itself now, bringing a good results, and then when the economy is fumbling, you definitely will not expect the markets to be standing strong when the economy is struggling. So for now, I mean, Q4, we need to see the result of Q3, especially for some major companies like the banking stocks, because we know that MPC have raised rates. So definitely we see how that will impact on their result going forward. But one good thing about it is that the liquidity in the market, especially the banking stock or the first tier bank, is still very, very strong. So definitely I expect the market to continue to have, maybe when the result comes in Q4, I expect some positive results. Looking at half year results, I expect that we'll see most of those banks, especially those banks that are paying interim dividend, will still be able to pay dividend, which is good for an investor, especially in terms of when you are going to, technically the world is in recession. So when you have liquidity in terms of recession, then that's the best time for you those are the type of company you want to invest in, and so that equity are cheap, then you can now gain good entry point into the market. So my first quarter expectation is that we'll see investors change position, especially to high-paying dividend stocks, and some of them will begin to do that when the prices are low. Like we're experiencing that now. Some companies are selling at 52 weeks low. So it's a good opportunity for investors, especially the local investors who have been patient with the market. Unfortunately, we will not be able to see those kind of bullish runs that we normally see, because the foreign investors seems to give us those bullish run because they have stayed for 6 months or 1 year and they've targeted some particular equity. But what you see in the market, you see some fluctuation ups and down, because what we call institutional investors in Nigeria now were those pension fund administrators or pension fund administrator, or those that were playing the fixed income space. And they don't want to stay more than 3 months. After 3 months, they are looking at how to exit, how to enter. They just want to make profit above inflation, and they move. So my Q4 is going to be a little bit pessimistic about Q4 because of the economic situation. And then not to forget that governance will take a backseat when we start the election proper. So governance take a backseat. So what we see running the economy now is the monetary policy. Why the market has been sluggish is just how to do with the physical side have not come with any trigger that could trigger a move within the economic space, and that will find its way into the stock market too. So the monetary policy are doing what they're doing, and the physical side seems to be non-existent. So definitely there must be a synergy between the physical and the monetary side, so that the market can now react positively. So fourth quarter is going to be an interesting quarter, but I said it is a time you do value, what I call value investment. Value investment is you look at strong fundamental stock, you take position on them, knowing fully well, like Mr. Ambrose said, the stock market, I normally say, is like the life of a man. And sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but a very successful man at the end of the day is up most time than down. So I think that is what investors should be looking at. Good stocks are available for cheap rate now.
Exactly.
For me.
All right. You said a lot of things. We'll come back to them. But very quickly, we have Mr. Charles right here with us in the studio. I want to start with you. Do you agree with him that governors will take a back seat at this point in time as a result of the fact that we're getting seriously into the electioneering year? That's one. And on the other hand, I'd like to know what factors you think will shape the market in this quarter.
Okay, like you have said, you have said it all. Yes, we're approaching an election year. And from experience over time, we have seen this kind of trend. So I will agree with him on that. You know, once we're approaching an election, we see governors taking back seat. And of course, all the political juggernauts will be out there. But the good thing about it is we are going to be asking them their plans for the economy and the market. So it's good. And like I said sometime, the three frontline candidates, they're all market friendly. Is it the man from the APC? Is it the man from the articulated camp or the obedient camp? These are people who are market friendly. They are businessmen, so we'll see a positive part of that. Now for Q2 or Q4, yes, what will shape the markets? Generally, my advice for investors is, yes, you're expecting some earnings, some numbers will be coming to the market. Position yourself very well. But again, you cannot time the market 100%. So there are a little bit of risks that is there. In fact, you even being in the stock market is a risk on its own. Yes, and that is why they say the shareholders are the owners of the company. When the company performs well, you get the benefits. And when the company does not do well, you also suffer with the managers. And that is why they have AGM where you can encourage them, you talk to them so that they do things that will, you know, improve the fortune of those companies. Now, the strategy I will advise them to use, of course, it's a very simple strategy. They have positioned themselves.
Okay.
They have seen the dividend paying stocks already. They've seen it. So, moving forward, fourth quarter, what the average investor should do, come with knowledge. Okay. You need to have knowledge, whether it is technical knowledge, whether it is fundamental. Understand what the company you want to invest in is doing. Mukhtar said fundamentals. Yes, look at companies with strong fundamentals. The stock market is a market that prices must go up and down because people are buying and selling. We saw Airtel lost over almost 10% maximum yesterday. And of course, the price has gone down. So a discerning investor will look at that trend and say, okay, the price has come down. If it is what I have already planned for, then let me get into Airtel because of the low price and, you know, move on. But again, I will not leave by saying investors should begin to look at Naira cost averaging as we approach the fourth quarter of the year.
You know, I promised you we'll talk about Naira cost averaging, but I'll still hold on. Okay, Mr. Ambrose, I'd like you to talk to us about what the fixed income will look like in the fourth quarter.
No, you know, fixed income market is always driven by the parameter happening around the environment. All eyes as to speak now is on September, consumer price index, because if inflation is on the roof and what you are getting from fixed income market is still far below that roof, that means you're already in red return. Despite that, yes, because of high, in MPR, we are seeing yield in the market looking up good. But compare that yield that's looking up with what inflation is. That is the real test of what you're returning. It's not just the BPR return of 13.99 or 14%. Match it to what the inflation was seeing in the economy. Yes, fine. As I speak now, as of today, I can see that there is kind of a calm in that space now. All eyes are on next week to see what the inflation will look like. When it comes, determine where they also move to. Don't forget that because that space is deep, most of the billions or trillions will be entering there because of space and also the the product long-term short curve, or have a 15 years, 10 years, 5 years curve for different bond and also other instrument there. But one matter is that at the end of the day, you as an investor, retail investor like me, won't put more money there. But for all those PFA that has billions they are trading, they can do that because they have no fund to play around. But with that, and you want to look at what will inflation do to my fund at this time. That's why I need to look at, okay, equity space, where can I hedge against inflation? Not all the sector in the equity space is for you to enter this fund. That's why you need to do selective. That's why, according to our friend on Zoom said, you need to look at value, stock and position. My colleague also have said it, that you need to look also do average investing. These are things you need to do at this point, but in all, you must combine your technical and your fundamental, because I tell you, no matter in the down market, in the bull market, is that attitude, the psychology of people, the sentiment that also support the price, whether your fundamental is good, the right price to buy or to sell is very, very important in any market.